hands over their ears because they can't stand inside and set up the bagpipe, and you don't pay any attention to them. You have Scottish roots. Your DNA proves it if you ever have to have that done. And pipes and kilts are part of our roots. So first, or 10 at least, you can tell if you're a steward if you like those bagpipes. Number 9, you might be a steward if you're the only person you know who stands patiently waiting for 1 cent of change to come back from the clerk at the cash. You laugh, but you do it, don't you? Yeah. Stewards are frugal, sometimes frugal to a fault, but we consider being frugal a sacrament, not a sin. Number 8, you might be a steward if you often find yourself telling stories about your family or other people's families, and after repeating the same stories a few times, people begin to tell you, well, that story was changed from the last time you told it. And I've even been told that we stewards tend to stretch the truth a wee bit to enhance our stories. Nevertheless, I've been heard that, but I don't think that's true, but yeah, I've heard that. Nevertheless, we are noted for being very good storytellers. Number 7. You might be a steward if you find yourself practicing stewardship, the kind, where people donate your time, your talent, or your treasure. I have seen you, people in this room, visiting the sick, feeding the poor, donating clothing for those who don't have enough, building homes for the homeless, giving funds to buy chickens or goats or nails when you know a community in need of it. These and many other examples like them are signs that our family always has been and continues to be a family of good stewards. Number 6, you might be a steward if your classmates in school choose you to be the class treasurer, or if your employer trusts you to operate the cash register, or gives you the keys to the place and tells you to be the last one out and lock it up. The stewards have been trustworthy and honest and truthful since the days of the High Stewards of Scotland, and that has never changed. And we are very proud of that. Number 5, you might be a steward if you start on a difficult and long-term project and you stick with it all the way until you finish. I know some stewards, some of them in this room as a matter of fact, who have started a long-distance road race when the other runners were faster and more experienced. When all the others crossed the finish line and the timekeeper folded up his clock and went home, our people kept running across the finish line even if nobody else was there. We are tenacious. We stick with it, and that quality can be found in all of our endeavors. It's how we work for continual improvement. Thank you, Daisy. Number 4, you might be a steward if you are street smart. Yeah, I know, we stewards are intelligent, no question about that. But more than that, we've learned how to cope with the unknown and the unusual. We succeed by having intellectual curiosity. We feed that curiosity by reading, by exploring new paths, by being adventurous. Stewards can be found in all parts of this country, indeed in other countries all over the world. They have one common trait: they never forget where home is, and they arrange to get back there as soon as they can when they've seen enough of other parts of the world. Number 3, you are probably a steward if people say you're stubborn and headstrong. They used to say, stubborn as a Missouri mule. You've heard that? And you agree, yeah, I am. When you want your way, you make it clear that you're going to get it. Sometimes we do that by making rules. Some of us make rules, and we expect others around us to follow them, even if they don't want to. Number 2, you are probably a steward if you are extremely independent. You continually challenge the status quo. You are self-motivated and you don't wait around for someone else to start when action is needed. You are a do-it-yourselfer. You prefer to get involved in hands-on activities. And number one, the very first and foremost sign that you are a steward is if your first priority is to your family. You know that if there's a family member in your town celebrating something, you're going to be there to be part of the party. If someone in your family needs help, you'll be there to help. And you also know that it works both ways. You know you can count on your family to be there when you need them. I once heard someone say, well, a family is the people who have to take you in even if no one else will. And I think that's true. You would do that for each other, wouldn't you? Finally, my wish today, have I made it? Have I still got a minute left? Sure. My wish today is that you will just keep on being the wonderful family that you are. I am sure the future of the Stewart family is in good hands, as you can see from some of the younger members of this crowd. And maybe someday in the future, one of our young Stewarts that are here tonight will hold another family reunion. I hope it's not 81 years from now like this one is in the last one. But I hope you do, and be sure to invite Pat and me, because we'll be there. I thank you, and I'll let the MC take this over.
Wow, that was very enlightening. So everybody knows who you are now. There shouldn't be any question. But you know, a lot of you have come here tonight to travel long distances. And I hope you did not have any encounter with problems or anything besides traffic. That is, you know. So, but I did want to recognize one of the people who traveled a really long way, and that's the Kendalls back there, and they came 1,100 miles one way. Okay, so well, we really appreciate the fact that you chose to travel to South Carolina to, to be here with this celebration. And now I'd like to call on Diane, my sister-in-law, so that she will tell you a special story about another family that made a vacation trip by car. And hopefully no one here had to endure the challenges that the little critters faced when they wanted to get away to their vacation.
So, you might be a steward if you can relate to this book. In fact, I'm sure you'll be able to relate to this book if you are. Can't hear. I read this at the 50th anniversary for my parents, and my youngest daughter was 4 then, so I really related to this book, and I thought, I don't need to read it again. You know, I have older kids now. It's not relevant, but it remains relevant no matter how old your kids are. So it's called, it's Little Critters, the Trip. Here's our trip from A to Z. A is for all. Here we all go. B is for bags, big bags. C is for car, little car. Now, if you're in our family, you definitely know the problem with bringing bags that are too big for the car. Nobody's gonna take you anywhere. They're not gonna let you get away with it. You or your bag. E is for drive. Dad likes to drive. E is for engine. Our engine is hot. I don't know if it is. This is like, this happened. I think they wrote it about us. F is for food. We want some food, Mom. G is for games. I play games with my sister. And you can't really see this. You might want to look through this book, but sister and brother, somebody's got their fist, and the game's not going well. And Mom shaking her finger. H is for hill. Down we go. Don't hurt the horse. I is for ice cream. I is for ice cream. Ice cream for Dad, and some for us too. Dad doesn't look like he wanted ice cream. J J's for joke. I took the car key. What a good joke. K's for kitten. Look, Mom, our kitten came too. Surprise. Now things are going south. L is for lost. I think Dad is lost. If you really need to look at this book because Dad's holding a map and he's rolling it out the window. I think the map is going to get thrown. I don't know. It just happened. It's happened in the past. It is for mess. Mom, we made a mess. And it's for no. No more mess, says Mom. And it's yard stick back there. Oh, it's for off. We got off the road. Where's the road, Dad? This actually did happen. We drove down some steps. It was probably okay because we were in another country. That's the way I look at it. He is for a park where we can play. Please, can we stop? This is my favorite one. Q is for quiet. Dad wants it quiet. But they don't look very quiet. R is for road. We found the road again. S is for sun. The sun is going down. T is for tire. The tire is bad. U is for under. Dad is under the car. In there too. V is for very. We are all very tired. W is for waiting. X is the train sign. We are waiting. The train is going by. Y is for yay. We are here. Z is for I'm glad we're here. And then I'll go to sleep with the cat.
The seventh Stewart children had a great time growing up together, growing up in St. Joe, Omaha, Memphis, Atlanta, and France. I would like to invite my Uncle Tim forward to come up and give a special presentation that will take us back to a journey to the 1970s.
Okay, I'm Tim Stewart. I'm the fifth of the Stewart kids, and I need to get my presentation together here.
Here, let Joe tell some jokes while Tim does the presentation. This will just take.
My sister-in-law was so young, she thought.
Oh, no.
It's because it's on a set weight balance. Do you need to record this? Oh, you are recording it. It is recording. So I'm going to turn this off and then start.
Everything here. Anybody here back here?
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about a couple of the values that my parents have instilled in all of us. Is family, which Dad talked a lot about, and our faith. We have very strong faith. We were brought up this very strict Catholic environment, and I think that's carried through in our lives and everything that we've done. And you can see in this picture it's about 1964. Mom and Dad might be able to tell us exactly what year this was. But we've got the van. We're getting ready to go on a trip. It looks like we just got back from church. We have our nice suit and ties on. Girls have dresses. Crew cuts for the boys. Tom has the church newspaper, if you can read it up there. Looks like I've got a prayer book there. Mom and Grandma are smiling, but you know they're not going to take any crap off anybody. Kathleen, I think, just auditioned for the Bonnie and Clyde movie, which was coming out that year. I think Faye Dunaway got the part. So, I I started thinking about, those values that we've always had from as far back as I can remember and how those came to be. And started looking through some of the old family photos. And we all decided that what we wanted to do was kind of do a comparison of how we looked before and how we looked later, and just do a comparison over time. So I said, how did we get from here in 1964 to here in 1970? So we talked about faith and family. We were also all about fashion. We were very fashion. See in this picture. So this was about 1973, the best I could guess, from the band, the haircut, the clothes, etc. So how did we get there? What happened between 1964 and 1963 that could take us from these straight-laced kids look like the Brady Bunch? In 1973, it looked like the road crew for a Pink Floyd concert. So let's look back at a little bit of history, what happened between those years. Okay, 1965, the first mini skirt came out. Okay, were we into mini skirts? Well, some of us were, apparently. Big fashion, we adopted there. Okay, what else happened? Well, 1967, the Doors, a very popular band at the time, made tight pants, leather, and plaid very fashionable. Did we do that? Andy was all on board for that. Tight pants and plaid, I think some leather back there too. Okay, so all of that was happening at the same time that we were involved in 1969 Woodstock. That influenced our music, our hair, our clothes, everything. Okay, 1971, Rolling Stones started a tour I think is still going on now. The same guys are still touring 40 years later. That's going to last approximately 100 more years. That influenced our hairstyles. Yeah, we got the hair back then. I'm jealous. I wish we were all still had that. So 71, we're doing great. We were following all the fashion. 1973, disco hit the big time, and it kind of drove rock and roll out of business, and that was kind of the end of our being the hippies and the listening to the rock music and all that. That was kind of the end of an era there. So in 1973, that's when we kind of all started, getting more mainstream and following the, what was going on with the rest of the world, and cut our hair and stopped wearing all the fringe and the leather and the tight pants and all. So over the next few decades, we all just adapted to the ways, and until right now, 2015.
Oh, God.
So we tried our best to recreate the days of old 1973. There's a little bit less hair, a little bit more weight around the midsection. Andy, we had to move him people around because he'd grown about 5 feet. So this was, we want to do something. There's a website company called Awkward Family Photos where they do this. They take an old picture and people try to recreate it. We thought it'd be a good idea to kind of compare what's happened to us over the past few years. We also wanted to...
Tell us the day all right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's look at the old one. Okay, everybody's in the exact same position relative to each other, and as close as we can get on the clothes. Diane is the far left, and then Tom, then me, and then Andy's the little one. Nancy's right behind him, and Susie, and then John. Yeah, take note of the outfit.
I guess
don't know whose band that was.
There's white socks. There's boots.
Diane, those are socks.
No, the red ones.
Oh, yeah, those look like
Oh, they're socks?
I was gonna wear my mini skirt, but it didn't go with the blue shirt. Enough to see this on the big screen, you need to have it. It's not enough to see this on the big screen one time. You have it hanging in the living
That's really cute. Is that the same picture?
You looked better back
It's the
then.
two.
Take a good look at Andy and see what
Yeah, he looks like 2 feet tall.
It's like, there's this thing I saw where like people post recreations of older, that should enter that.
Yeah, they should.
This will hang in a preferred position in
It's
our.
like one of the best ones I've seen.
Yeah. All of them.
I feel like the ones where it's like a bigger kid. The older sibling is like holding the other one when they're babies, and like they get it when they're both adults. Like a full grown person in a diaper. You'll be like,
It always seems like the youngest something's bigger than the.
I know. It's like smaller than you are. I think it's
I'm taller than my mom. It's like my dad's taller than me. No, I'm only like an inch taller than Melissa.
Okay, thank you very much. Very nice presentation. Yes, thank you so much. Now, let's have Tom Stewart. Please come forward. Tom Stewart, this is your life. Remember that program?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm as old as you are. I'm Todd. I'm the third one, and another quality of the Stewart is that everybody likes to take pictures. You look around, you'll see lots of cameras going, and that went back, I think, before even the kids started. We have some old pictures that we were able to pull together from way back when they first started taking pictures, I think. And one of the other favorite things that a lot of the kids can remember, none of the really young kids probably know what a slideshow is. Maybe you do. And we all got real excited when it was time to slide. And we would spend hours and hours at the slideshow. And that was a lot of fun. We'd make a big bowl of popcorn and just have a good time. So I thought, why not take and pull together some slides and kind of have one big slideshow. And it's going to cover the slideshow. We're talking about the 60th anniversary for Mom and Dad. But another thing that went on this year is that both Mom and Dad turned 80 years old this year, which is quite an accomplishment, in my opinion, to make it 80. So that's a big deal, too, I think. And another couple things I want to mention that Nancy also turned 60 this year. And Stuart and Melissa just got married about a week ago.
Garrett.
I'm sorry. Garrett and Melissa. And they were willing to take the time to come and visit with us, just having just got married a short time ago. Anyway, we put together this video of some of the greatest slides. We went through maybe 10,000 slides and boiled it down to probably 200. So with that, Susie?
The
Take
only
it away.
thing I want to say is we're going to have total quiet in the room because somebody forgot to bring an audio cable, but we're going to play it as loud as we can on the computer, and hopefully you'll be able to hear the
How many
sound.
of you put this up to?
We've got
Thanks for all the pictures that were contributed to.
Yeah,
By the Glenski.
Yeah, Linsky's, everybody who's done them, yeah, thank you so much for making that possible. Nobody has said anything about the coffee cup on your table, so I'm going to take a little intermission here and tell you that everybody in the room has a Stewart Family Reunion coffee mug on your table, and it's for you. And I want you to take it home with you. Dad, are we going to have them clean first?
We're gonna work on it.
We're going to have, if you had coffee, just leave it on the table. Somebody's going to take care of getting it clean for you. But we'll work out getting it back to you. So thank you, Dad, for the mug. The next part of our program is going to move into a really special time, and I'd like to ask my sister Nancy and my brother John to come forward, Nancy being the oldest and John being the firstborn son of me. They're going to come forward and they're going to say some kind words for Mom and Dad, and I'd like for everybody to be thinking that maybe you might want to add to this afterwards, but they've got something special they'd like to say. And if you don't mind, while you are talking, if Joe and Emily and I can be handing out toasting glasses. Joe?
Dad, Mom, you started this mess, so we're blaming it on you, but it's been great. Nancy. I'm
He's
John,
already
this is
trying
Nancy.
to take over. I'm Nancy, I'm the oldest of Mom and Dad's children, and I, first of all, just want to say, wow, can you imagine 60 years? So much has happened in 60 years, and I've been around for the whole trip. I was born in the same year that they got married, so I'm 60, and I've been here for 6 years. And John was almost there for the whole trip. He's just a year younger than I am. So we wanted to share with you some of our thoughts about this family. And unfortunately, some people have already stolen some of my thunder. But thanks to Andy, who helped me celebrate my birthday a couple weeks ago. He gave me a book about 1955 of Morris, and I want to share a little bit about what life was like in 1955 for my mom and dad. First of all, I want to say the richness of life lies in the memories we have together. In 1955, one of the things that happened was Bill Haley and the Traumas walked around the clock, hit #1. Outcoming movie star James Dean died in a car crash at age 24. That was one of our famous favorite actors. In the national news, Rosa Parks is arrested for refusing to give up her seat on a public bus in Montgomery, Alabama. Captain Kangaroo and the Mickey Mouse Club made their debut. The President of the United States was Dwight Eisenhower, and the Vice President was Richard Nixon. The life expectancy in 1955 was 69.6 years.
Beat that.
There's a lot of people, well, quite a few people in this room that have beat that. And I'm getting pretty close. The cost of living in 1955, a new house cost $10,950. I paid more than that for a new car just a couple months ago. The average income was $4,137. A new car cost $1,910. A movie ticket was 75 cents. Gasoline was 23 cents per gallon. A first-class postage stamp was 3 cents. Milk was 92 cents a gallon. Coffee was 80 cents per pound. Bacon was 58 cents per pound. Eggs were 27 cents for a dozen. Fresh ground hamburger was 56 cents a pound. Fresh baked bread was 18 cents a loaf. So that's kind of what was happening 60 years ago. You want to jump in yet?
They taught us a lot of family values. We've used them all into our families. I think we've all learned from all this. Me and Tom got in a lot of trouble over the years, so I think we straightened out a little bit. I've got, my brother-in-law read all 3 of Mom and Dad's books, and he wanted to know when y'all were writing another one. They just got people that just know about them and want to know about how your parents do it, or how everybody just loves them to death. So we're just all proud to be in this family.
And some of this has already been mentioned, but I feel like the theme of their marriage was family, number one, but also the value of working, playing, and following the rules. A big theme, especially now, but all through their marriage, was tracing family roots and being proud of your family roots. They've always been very accepting of new family members, and family members have entered into our family in all sorts of ways, but whatever way you came into this family, you were welcome without question. I feel like my parents set examples for the need to explore lifelong learning. They both got their degrees later in life. I think they were both past 50 when they got their degrees. They have developed new areas of learning in later in life, such as writing, learning to play the bagpipe, and also writing books together. They have set a very good example for the need to be fit throughout your entire life, not just when you're playing football in high school, but you need to be fit, and they exercise both physically and mentally. And I just want to say thank you to my parents for being such great role models, and we all love you very much.
Anybody can come up?
Well, wait, let's do a toast to that first. We're going to hand out it's not real champagne, it's fake champagne. But everybody gets to have a chance to toast. And John, if you'll give one to... Oh,
this is sparkling. It's like sparkling. What? Wait, do you want
everybody have
It's twitchable. Listen, you see. I can open it.
You might need a ball
I
opener.
know how to open it. You take the end of the knife and you pop it.
Anybody got a bottle? Yes. Stuart does. We're going to have to pass it around.
Thank you, Stuart.
Should we go ahead and open this one? No.
Somebody's going to pass the bottle.
Go, Joe. Classy. Keep it classy. Listen, you can't spill it.
I'm doing my own big class. Yeah, I'm afraid we need that.
Not with my trail. You want some hot champagne? Just pass it around. No, we're passing it around. Yo, Alyssa, will you sit right now? Kind of here we go. You can take this. Here, just drink them.
You don't feel comfortable walking up here, just stand up at your table and get it. Okay? Y'all all look up there.
Mom and Dad, first 60 years, 60 years more. And we want a picture of the cake cramming in the mouth one more time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Just like do as a group. Just the one. You just go like that.
Well, I can't, or I
That's for like cheers. Cheers. Where you go like that.
I'd rather prefer it.
Yeah, because it's like gonna break something.
Okay. I want to tell a little story before Maddie, you're going to be next after me. Get ready. Because I have to choose. Okay, if you don't want to, that's okay. I thought you wanted to. But I do have a story and I want to tell it real quick. And I have a very short video, so I'm going to tell my story. Y'all may not know this, and I know Mom and Dad know this because they let me in on a secret, but there's another Stewart child. And it's, I've met her. She's a daughter. She's a very good friend that I've met, and I'm really happy that I've met her, but when I was a kid, there were 3 girls and there were 3 boys before Andy. And my dad came home from the hospital, and back then you didn't know the sex of your baby, so he came home and he said, "It's a boy," and everybody was excited except me. I ran and hid behind these floor-length orange drapes that were hanging on the living room windows and cried. Andy, I love you now very much, but at the time, it was horrible because, you know, there were 3 boys and 3 girls and everything was cool, and then another boy came along. And I was like, it was supposed to be a girl. So I was really happy to find out that I have another sister, and I really hope you all will all have a chance to meet her. But I ran into her in Greenville recently, and I asked her if she would mind if I videotaped a message to give y'all. So if you will, bear with me while I get it up on the screen. I want you to listen to her.
She's family.
She is family. All right, now the floor is open for anybody who wants to give a toast.
Do it.
Who's next?
Do it.
I think I'll be the great one. Okay, I'm a Stewart by marriage, and me and Tim been married for about 28 years. And the first time I got here, first people that I met at the airport were Mom and Dad and Susie. They were the very first one that welcomed me in this family. Way back then, I mean, it is very scary to be here away from my family, but they made me welcome, very welcome. And in fact, they're the best that ever happened to me. They're my parents. I love them so much. And I love you all, this big family. You have welcomed me. And I can't ask for more. I am part of this family. And I love you all.
We're proud of you.
I don't see anyone fingers. Alyssa, come on up here.
Come on, Alyssa. Come on.
Miss Haley, this is going to be wonderful. Alyssa, Haley, and Maddie, okay.
I just want to thank y'all for all being here, for me and her. I'm so glad y'all are here. For you. It means so much that you are here.
for Mom and Dad. I don't have a mom and dad anymore, but they have told me they are my mom and dad. And I just want to say thank you for being there for me. You've been a blessing to me, and I love you. I love all of you. Thank
Come on, somebody else. Stuart.
I just want to say congratulations on 60 years. That is definitely an accomplishment. You don't see that very often, and it is a great example for us younger generation that relationships are work and they're hard, but you can stick through it and make it meaningful and, you know, leave a lasting impression. And it's a great example of what I want my life to be. So thank you.
I'll say something. I've been thinking just since I've been here that my dad said it's been 81 years since the last family reunion. And if you think about it, that's a long time to go without a family reunion, really. And I live kind of far away from a lot of the people here, and I don't get together as much as I would like. So the fact that bringing everybody together, not to mention the people, the immediate family, but to see some of the people, some people I've never seen here before. And some people like Janice I haven't seen in, I can't even know, I don't even know how many years. So just deciding to have this, to me, kind of says something. And I think really kind of pulled a whole bunch of people together that otherwise probably wouldn't be pulled together. So just having this in itself was a great thing for me, and I think probably everybody here. So thank you.
Nobody else here that wants to say anything. We were talking up a storm a half hour ago. What happened?
Yeah, now let's party. Okay, I'll do it too. I have to use the microphone because I'm not very soft spoken. Hi, y'all, if you don't know me, my name's Mac. I'm one of the many grandchildren of Pat and Jack, so that's, you know, quite an accomplishment, all these, you know, grandchildren, and they treat us, you know, like we're their own children. And, you know, I hold my grandparents up to be the ideal people. And I tell people that my grandparents are the smartest people I know. So, yeah, so thank you. Thank you for everything.
I just want to tell Pat that they are the smartest people we know. And Pat was always reading the books, and I never read books. Pat always got the top grades, and I just thought, well, I think I'd rather climb a tree. But through the years I've learned that's really important, and I've learned how to read books, and I've learned how much fun it is, and how much you can learn, and how you can stay in touch. And she gave me the inspiration to write even. After all your books, I'm trying that also, but I appreciate, you know, my smart sister and all that she taught me. And Kathleen has to talk too. I don't know what to say. Whoa. She was gone when I was 10. She married this guy. I have to say, Jack is the smartest person I know because like I had a frog in my toilet once and I couldn't get it out, so I said, who do I call to get this frog out of my toilet? Well, I called Jack and he told me what to do.
Came out, didn't it?
Yeah, it came out. He wanted me to put bleach in the tank and here he come out. But I didn't do that. I put vinegar. Anyway. Yeah, that's what he said. It came out. But anyway, I'm very proud of my sister and my brother-in-law. He's been like a brother to me. But the brother I never had, I always wanted a brother, but I always had sisters. So. And we were missing a couple of important people in my sister and brother-in-law's life, which is my mom, who died at 99 a few years ago, and my sister, who died at 61 a few years ago. We miss them. We hope they're up there with watching over us, and congratulations, and we hope we have another, at least 20 or 30 more years. Thank you. Congratulations.
Well, somebody out there is dying to go.
I want to tell Grandpa thank you for the things that he's helped teach my son. School these days are hard and tough on kids, and because of your love of history and taking the time to teach my son history, he excels very well in history, and I'm going to be a history professor. So I'm very proud of that, and Chase's love of the family tree. Every time he comes to visit you, he comes home and he says, Grandpa told me this and Grandpa told me that. And it was just so much fun. And I can remember the whisker kisses that we got as a kid. And I miss those, and our kids get to enjoy that. But when he comes back home from spending time with Grandma and Grandpa, he's just as excited as Stuart and I were when we left your house about the knowledge and the love that you learned this day. So thank you.
Thank you.
When she was talking about the history thing, it reminded me of a story. I was selected for a program from my school called the Governor's Honors Program, where a bunch of our, eggheads get together and they go to Valdosta State College in Georgia, and we just do all these programs, group studies. It was a good thing. Sadly, I didn't get picked, but they sat me down in this room and they started asking me questions. They're like, "What drives you?" And I started talking about Grandpa. I'm like, he's really into, the whole family roots, and I explained to them how we got our name and stuff like that, and they seemed really interested. The counselor came to me again, and she's like, "I'm sorry we didn't pick you, but that one thing you were talking about with your grandfather and all the stuff that you learned with him, I wish I had that when I was little." And I have a funnier story. When I talk about my grandpa, and I'm like, "Yeah, Scotland and all," and they're like, "Oh, Scotland, where the guys wear the skirts, right?" And I'm just, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, he plays bagpipes, right?" Hang my head again. I'm like, "Yeah." It's my grandpa. But yeah, I want to just thank you for everything you've done, and still gotta get your book though. I tell my teacher all the time how you write books. They're like, "Oh, I'd like a copy of that." And I'm like, "As soon as I get one, I'll give it to you."
I need to speak, just for, what I'd like to thank my mom and dad for is teaching me, first of all, having us all here. This is really great. I know it was no easy task, no small expense. A lot of people were involved, and I was in Texas just, doing whatever I do there. I was oblivious to all the work that went into this. But the thing that I would like to thank you for is teaching me how to celebrate the moments in my life. because I didn't really get it. I had kids, you know, we had birthday parties, we had things like that, but a few years ago, I don't even remember how long ago it was now, but I got my master's. And nobody in my family wanted to go. I was married at the time, my husband didn't want to go, my kids were like, they were too young to really accompany me. And my mom and dad said, we're going. You know, you better walk down that stage because we're going to be there. So they met me there. I graduated from Boise State University. They met me there and they watched me walk down the stage. And at that moment, I was pretty old then, you know, in my 40s. And at that moment, I realized the big moments of my life that I've celebrated, they help me celebrate them. And that's what I can give to my children. And that's what I'm learning to do. And I wouldn't have known it if I hadn't seen it. So you've taught me to take what you have today and celebrate it, no matter how big or little it is. And I really appreciate it.
I just wanted to comment, has anybody here ever listened to Dave Ramsey? Anybody know who that is? I know Dad knows who it is. And I think, you know, I talk to people at work, my age, younger, and they talk about how great this guy Dave Ramsey is. And I'm like, who's that? So I started listening to him. And everything the guy said is a financial advisor. And he talks about your finances in relation to your whole life, not just making money, but spending money wisely, spending it on things that you enjoy doing and that are positive and that also make a good investment. And I was like, my dad taught me that. What's so great about that? Doesn't everybody learn that? And I started learning, no, everybody doesn't learn that. I talked to people at work that have never understood the concept of organizing things and making rules and having a specific way of doing things and doing them right. And they probably never got whacked by a yardstick either. If by a yardstick, raise their hand. I don't know, there's 6, 7 people that felt the wrath of the yardstick all the way across the hand. And you know, it's tough love. You love people and you discipline them and you teach them the right way to do things and then you set them free and hope that they retain them for the rest of their lives. And I also want to say from my personal experience, we sent our son Mac off overseas earlier this year and I was scared, you know, beyond anything I'd ever experienced before, because when you send somebody overseas, a loved one like that, it's a very traumatic experience if you don't know what's going to happen. But I also thought my parents did that with me 30 years ago, and they did that with all 7 of us. We all did crazy, stupid, risky, dangerous things, and we all survived it. And how you guys made it through 60 years like that, I don't know. But I appreciate that you did that and let us find our own path and experience things, and we love you for it. Thank you.
Tim reminds me of the importance of what happens when you send your child overseas, to Nepal, to the Philippines, to Germany, to France, wherever all of you have traveled, and how Pat and I learned how to deal with children at an early age. And it happens to be Tim that taught us how, because he's the 5th child. At one point, we had 4 children. Pat had 2 hands and I had 2 hands, and if they would run out into the street, one of us would grab them and hold them to keep them from doing something really foolish and really stupid, which kids do. I mean, I can't deny it. They do. And we wondered, how are we going to handle it when we have a 5th child and we've got one hand on each of 2 kids, 4 total. And how do we keep the fifth one from doing something stupid? And that's when we decided it takes more to being a parent than grabbing your kid by the hand. You have to teach the kid to be self-reliant and know for themselves what to do so they don't get into more trouble than they can get out of. And Tim, thanks to you, you started that, you learned that. It filtered around to all of our children, and I think it's filtered down to all our grandchildren too, and the others. But you have to do something that allows the child to do something for themselves to keep their own selves out of trouble. So I just want to say thank you, Tim, for being our fifth child.
I just want to say something about Tim that I bet he doesn't remember. One time, am I correct that one time Susie and Tim stayed with us when you guys went to Tim?
Yes.
And Tim, you know what you did? He disappeared. We had a son about Tim's age and a daughter about Susie's age, but Tim disappeared for a few moments, and I looked and looked. He was stuck under the neighbor's car. Remember that?
Was it running?
What?
Was it running?
No, it wasn't running. I guess he decided to explore the neighborhood. Well, I didn't mean to get into family stories, but I just thought, that was his first adventure, probably, in a strange land. He explored it a different way.
My turn. And excuse me for my two-page speech. My mom taught me to write, so I had to write my speech, and I'm going to give it to you. But it's really just from the heart, the things that I have thought about and things that I really wanted to share with my parents. And I titled it, What Have I Learned from My Parents? I would honestly say that my parents have lived a 60-year love story. I saw many examples of their selfless love while I was growing up in their home. But in the past few months, I've witnessed what it truly takes to give of yourself for the benefit of the other. I'm so proud to be one of the 7 Stewart children. Mom and Dad taught us that love requires each to understand the needs of the other and to respond to those needs, to allow and encourage each other to be the person they are meant to be, to give more than you get, to be selfless, to allow room for disagreements, but to always forgive and forget. And when it comes to raising children, which my parents did a great job at, by the way, here's a few nuggets of what I've learned, and I decided to speak after Tim did because he stole one of my nuggets. Teach by example. Strong and independent children. Teach your children honesty, integrity, and truthfulness. Teach your children independence and self-reliance. And this is Tim to teach them how to be responsible with money. Teach them to save and give. Even though Dave Ramsey takes credit for the envelope system, my dad invented it long before anybody knew who Dave Ramsey was. And that is a tradition I carry with me today. My parents also taught us about God, about believing that Jesus Christ died for our sins and that we can live the kind of lives we live today because of this, and about passing that love of God on to our children. They taught us to make our own decisions and sometimes to fail, but they always let us know they will always be there for us no matter what. I have a quote from a gentleman named Hyden Carter that kind of sums up the whole Stewart family line. He said, there are 2 lasting bequests we can give our children. One is roots and the other is wings. My parents gave us both. My parents are a living example of how love lasts forever. I love you both. Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Well, the next part, and I know we're already into our event pretty far along, but we do have some prizes we want to give out.
Can I invite the ladies to come and pick up?
Yes, I wish they would. I couldn't find them earlier when
I'll do that while you start. Thank you.
Y'all know we've been having some competitions during our couple of days here, and I think we have quite a few prizes, so we'll kind of move through these quickly. Let's see, Joe, you're on the script. Do you want to read this, or you want me to go ahead with it? You've probably been invited to participate in various activities over the past 2 days, like having your toe measured, or playing checkers, or participating in the cornhole tournament. Now it's the time to announce the winners in each category. The first category is the Name That Person photo contest, and I'd like Nancy to come forward and announce the winner.
Oh, no, this is my thing.
Well, I just want to say that I learned a few things about having this contest. I wasn't sure how it would turn out. Some people liked it and some people didn't. So we had 20 entries, and I appreciate everybody that attempted the photo contest, and I really appreciate everybody that brought a picture and remembered to bring their pictures and put it in the contest, and they were all awesome. There were 2 people that were pretty funny on their answers. Andy had Satan as one picture. I'm not sure which one that was. And Tim listed Diane about 10 times. And he wasn't sure which one that was. There were several people that were confused quite a bit, including Marianne, Kathleen, and Pat. Wonder why. But also, John and Marianne were confused quite a bit. Everybody thought you were Marianne. John Stewart's grandkids, everybody got them all mixed up, so I guess they all look pretty similar. There were several people that haven't changed much over the years, I guess, because just about everybody got their names right. One of them was me, Melanie, Nell, Amy, and Stuart. Just about everybody got all of those right, so I thought that was interesting. I do not see the winner of the contest in the room. Most people that really tried got between 14 and 15 out of 28 entries correct. I thought that was good. But one person had 20, and that was my dad, Jack. I don't know where he is right now, but he didn't get to do it till late in the game, but I was surprised. He had a couple close runner-ups, but Dad got 20 of the 28 names right. Make sure you go back to the hospitality room and pick up your picture. I'll put up the answers if anybody wants to see what they got right and what they got wrong. Thank you, ma'am.
Our next category is the winner of the checkers tournament. I would like to invite Grandpa Jack forward to present the award.
He's not here. We just want to.
Are you talking about the checkers tournament?
Yeah.
That's not over yet.
Controversy.
It's gonna get real. Chase Taylor's on.
And John.
Pop up. It's gonna get real. It's gonna get real like checkers. Everyone's gonna be in there.
Okay, the next category we're going to give an award in is the oldest person in attendance. I would like to ask Nancy to come forward, not Nancy. Help me. She's not the oldest person.
Yes.
And as we prepare for the oldest person in attendance award, we need scissors. Do you think I need scissors?
Like, are they exactly the same thing?
No, I was just gonna say she's second. So I can find it. So I can say. Thank you. I'm gonna say I'm down.
So you did do your own.
Somebody asked what a drum roll is.
Okay, I did put
Never mind.
Now we have more packaging. Wait a minute. There's a lot of packaging here.
I guess because like I feel like my
So did it matter which toe? Does it have to be the longest first toe? It could be like any toe.
No, they measured
That would be a
I'm sure there's somebody out there who's
maybe if they lost parts of the other toes.
or you know, like the Ninja Turtles that are coach for.
Yeah.
What is that, strawberry and what?
Why did you sign up for that?
You didn't sign up for it.
Grandpa told me to do it.
It was a sign.
Dad's showing off his
I'll be
award
honest,
from the last competition. He got a picture frame.
What?
Yay, Dad. Family on it. This award is being very difficult to deal with, so we're gonna deal with it in a minute, but the award is a lovely tiara that the person must wear for the remainder of the night once we get off the packaging. And the award goes to Pat Stewart.
Difficult to deal with too.
I guess she's in.
I thought that down there. I was
They're both 80.
Okay, if you have an oldest person in attendance award, you know you're also going to have a youngest person in attendance award. There are two winners in this category. Emily, would you please help me present the awards? Okay, the youngest boy in attendance is Oakley Author. Oakley. Sounds like a baseball player. That's the youngest boy. And now for the youngest girl in attendance is Daisy Ann Hardy.
Our next category of winners is for the families who traveled the farthest. The winning families both traveled from Lincoln, Nebraska, which is 1,338 miles away. Woo. Congratulations to the first family in this category, Jan and Rick Kendall. Your prize is 2 autographed photos of the world-famous Formula One racing champion, Sir Jackie Stewart.
There you go. Signed autograph.
Sign?
Yes,
How'd
autograph.
you get that?
The award for the second family traveling the farthest distance goes to Chad and Paul and Kendall. They are also receiving 2 autographed photos of Sir Jackie Stewart.
All right, next I would like to ask Mr. Mike Stewart to come forward for the presentation of the executive board. Mike, over here.
We're gonna get salt. We're gonna get salt.
That's a good idea.
So I had the honor of doing the long toe contest. You know, everybody's telling me, ooh, you know, toe contest, that's so nasty. You know, I'm a nurse. There are worse things out there than this toe. So the winner is, if I can have a drum roll, please, is Jackson Stewart. Let's see this thing. Susie Stewart, that's 46.74. Nice pair of those toe socks.
Oh, some of you might know that every year since 1994, the Stewart family has conducted a tomato contest. That is where we all, beginning, I don't remember the beginning day, I think it's Good Friday, make every attempt to grow the largest tomato in the world. 94 we've been doing that. We have held the contest again this year, and I'd like to ask that you're going to come up and give the award, Seth?
I'd be glad to.
Okay.
Each year, the tomato contest awards go to two categories. The first category is for the first red tomato. There's a lot of rules about what you have to do to be declared the winner of the first red tomato. But this year, there was no contest. The person who was undisputably the winner of the first tomato contest is Nancy Stewart. Nancy, the award, as you know, is a six-pack of your favorite beverage. And if you'll open it.
You can tell that we've got to a six-pack.
You don't drink anymore. You don't drink beer. You don't drink alcoholic beverages. But we got you the next best thing we could. We got you the next best thing.
I'm not an alcoholic, by the way.
It's a six-pack.
Your favorite beverage? If that goes in mine at her house, I'm taking it down.
There's another award, first red tomato. You can drink water, so we got you a six-pack of water.
Thank you. Good luck next year, but I think Dad disbanded the tomato contest.
The tomato contest is open for a new director, however, so if anyone wants to do that, speak up. The second category, and the one that is most, people desperately want to win the biggest tomato. And the biggest tomato can sometimes be pretty big. But this year, there wasn't much of a contest there either. We had one contestant come in with a 1 pound tomato, claiming the prize. The contestant isn't here tonight. His name is Bill Wallace. Now, how does Bill Wallace get into a Stewart family tomato contest? I'm not quite sure myself, but he's a relative of one of our Stewart family members, Melanie Stewart. He is, with a name like Bill Wallace, yeah. William Wallace. Could I have the award for Mr. Wallace? And it's, we didn't have a six-pack of this beverage, so we got 2 4-packs of Stewart's root beer. We want to remember the Stewart family tomato contest, and also Stewart's orange and cream, highly valued drink. And we'd like to ask his daughter to come up and receive the award on his behalf.
Good thing you're not flying.
I'll actually see him tomorrow, and he will be thrilled to get this.
Okay.
Jack, how big has the biggest
2 pounds and 4 ounces was the winner by William Wallace. Her father. 36 ounces. Because we also have
Okay, the next category, I'm not sure we have a winner yet either, is the cornhole category. Andy?
I don't think we have a winner.
We never started.
I don't think we do.
But I would have won.
I didn't know there was a cornhole walk of shame, but apparently. So I interpreted a competition kind of loosely. We just set up the boards and whoever wanted to play, played. Now there's 2 things we can do. We can either have an official competition tomorrow, which is going to take probably from sunup until midnight. Or I can opt to give the award to a particularly dazzling performance that I witnessed today. And which would you prefer? Okay, so I was comfortably winning a game against this person, and I can't remember who was on their team. At one point, we were winning 18-3, and this person came back with 5 points in the final round to beat me. And that person is Natty Joe.
And it was the last bag she threw in for a ringer. Way to go, Bill.
Mosquitoes are made out of corn, that's how we got the connection. Cornhole. All right, there's another award I want to give that's not on our program. My father gave me leeway to give another award if I felt like somebody deserved it. And who's parked their car on the 4th floor parking lot? Has anybody attempted the curbs and the running into somebody? Everybody in the room who drove had to do that. Well,
Nancy wrecked her car.
Nancy wrecked her car.
I scratched my car, first scratch.
Oh, Nancy. I'm not giving you an award for that. The award I'm going to give goes to the person who drove about a 100-foot van up those scary curves, and that's going to Ted Kendall.
You'll notice now that it's not on the 4th floor.
Neither is my
Yeah.
car.
I cheated when you parked down on the cash station. Right there by the.
You're awesome. He will never attempt to go up those raceways again.
I told my wife when we came in, she had to jump out, and she was like, not that much room. You don't want to get a light.
Now, you got some Jackie Stewart awards already, so you can choose. You get to choose between Kristen Stewart,
Patrick Stewart.
Martha Stewart, different Jackie Stewart autographed photograph, or my favorite, the Cycle Dude Award, which is a bandana that you get to wear while you're racing on the Good job. Okay, Rosalie, you want to say something? All right, we have one last award to present. Who said that?
Everybody.
You can say one thing, Daisy. Come on up.
great to be here today.
One last award to present before we cut, and I hope everybody's seen the anniversary cake over here. And I'd like to ask Emily to get this award.
This award goes to Grandma and Grandpa in celebration of their 60 years of marriage. I would like to read an inscription from Barack and Michelle Obama. Congratulations on your 60th wedding anniversary. Your support for each other through the joys and challenges of your years together is an example for us all. We are inspired by your remarkable partnership, and enduring love like yours is something to always keep. We send our best wishes to you on this wonderful occasion. Sincerely, Barack and Michelle Obama.
Congratulations, Mom and Dad. Got the crown on. I hope we got some pictures.
Let's go.
I like when I said that was the last award. Wait until we get photographs. This is a photo op. Paparazzi is here. Barack Obama was here.
They're about to start cutting
Okay, everybody, there's one final category. Everybody has a program in their chair. I hope no one got rid of theirs because you could have won something. So turn it over, and on the back there will be a red star. One person at each table will have one. So
Oh, I took it when it was on the ground, but the red star's not.
You gotta go up. I don't want that. I was gonna sit there. Wasn't that my original seat? Jenny, wasn't that my original seat? Jenny, wasn't that my original? I got.
I don't know. I had to get
You want to play? I do.
I won a towel. I won. The calendars.
Wait a minute, one final word from our guest.
Look.
And I appreciate everybody. One thing I want to say is, I'm blessed to have your presence, your friendship, your help in times of need, and just being here tonight. It's a blessing that we are so happy and delighted to have received. It's our pleasure to have you at this party tonight. So thank you all. There's more. She always has the last word.
I just wanted everybody to know if you didn't get a photo album in your package, we brought enough photo albums that each family could have one. So if you didn't get one, you got something in the hospitality. They're old albums that I felt like maybe people would like to see their picture in an old time. Okay.
Paid time. I stole Emily's line.
Oh, where is she? I don't know.